A classic situation involving an array is when two values within the array need to be exchanged or swapped. This idea is used all the time in sorting routines, and you will encounter it in several of the practice questions on arrays. In the void swap method shown here, the parameter list contains three parameters, an array of integers called list, and two index values indicating the positions of the array to be swapped. In main, an array called nums is initialized with the five values 5, 6, 2, 3, and 8. And then the swap method is called, sending the array nums and two integer values, 1 and 4, as parameters. In swap, the formal parameters list, index 1 and index 2, receive the values from main. List receives the array sent from nums, index 1 receives the value 1, and index 2 receives the 4. The intent is to swap the two values in the array in positions 1 and 4, which are the 6 and the 8. The final array should contain the values 5, 8, 2, 3, and 6 in that order. At first glance, the two statements shown here might seem to do the trick, but there is a problem. Can you spot it? Take a moment. Here's the problem. When the first statement is executed, position 1 of the array is reassigned the value in position 4, the 8, which means the original value in position 1, the value 6, is gone, erased, totally wiped out. So when the second statement is executed, position 4 of the array is assigned the value in position 1, which is now the value 8. And the resulting contents of the array are 5, 8, 2, 3, and 8. This is not what we wanted. To fix this problem, a temporary variable is needed, as you can see now. The value in position 1 is temporarily saved into this variable. Then the swap can take place, with position 1 getting the value 8, position 4 getting the value 6 from temp. Make sense? Now, there is one more thing to consider. What type of parameters do the formal parameters list, index 1, and index 2 need to be to make this swap work? Value or reference? Think about that idea for a moment. As you may recall from the previous lesson on parameters, any formal parameter that makes changes that need to be reflected back to the calling location needs to be a reference parameter. Otherwise, it only needs to be a value parameter. In this pseudocode system, we explicitly indicate the list as a reference parameter, since changes are made to it that need to go back to main. The two index parameters, index 1 and index 2, they only need to be value parameters, since changes are not made to those values. And now you know how the three-step swap process works.